There we go. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Monday evening. This is going to be a little bit of a different Monday evening because we are all on a high still from returning from convention. The first live convention in 3 years. It was wonderful. And like when your cell phone battery gets a little bit low, and we had a good boost in Bloemfontein 2 months ago. And I think it was good to get this boost as well, just to get a slightly bigger picture and to see how the others are doing. Because Bloemfontein, we see what Eagle team is doing, and convention, we get to see what the other teams are doing. And
that's right.
It was an interesting eye opener for me. I enjoyed
Go
it.
for it.
The thing I noticed, there was a lot of bees around. And for those that were there, you'll know what I mean. But there's a team, I think it's Cas Velsenach's team. I'm under correction on that one, but I think it's Cas's team. They all wear orange jerseys or orange tracksuit tops. And those people dominated the stage. They're from Klerksdorp.
I think they're called the bumblebees.
Something like that, yes. But they're from the Klerksdorp area, and they dominated that stage. And we are talking people working with miners. So those that don't actually have a lot of money, yet they are thriving. Why? The rest of us are not thriving. Why? And I want everybody who was there, I want your feedback as well, but what I picked up was that there is massive action happening over there. They are talking and they are doing presentations
Sharing
2 to 3 times a week, if not more.
John, are they near life crowd or are they part of Eagle team?
No, they're near life, but it's a different team. I actually don't know the name of the team. It's Cas Velsenach heads up that team.
Yeah, and it comes under Florence.
Is it
Comes under
Florence?
Florence
Matumbo.
and Wilson Matumbo.
Okay, but they're not Eagle team.
They are Eagle team.
Are they Eagle team?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I thought so.
They are not Eagle team. They are not Eagle
Okay,
team.
Casper, aren't they Eagle team?
No, they're not.
Cos inherited that business from his father.
Yeah.
That's right.
Correct.
And his father wasn't Eagle team. His father joined the same time as Charlie and all those guys.
Different side.
Okay.
But they're moving. They're doing this business properly. And it was a wake-up call for me because, yes, when it came to the top 10 registrations, Eagle team dominated. But there's some very stiff competition over there.
Yeah. And if you saw the hall was huge. And I'd say the middle section and half of the outside section was Eagles. The rest was...
Yeah, definitely 2/3 were Eagle team. I asked Andrew on Friday when we saw him how many he was anticipating. And he said that they had put out 1,400 chairs, but they had no idea how many they were actually expecting. I don't know how many chairs they put in, but they brought in extra chairs to fill up that hall.
That's right, they put in extra.
I don't know how many extra chairs there were, but it was an extremely well-attended convention.
Yeah.
Very, very.
And the keynote speaker was brilliant. It was,
and unfortunately, she wasn't allowed to take.
I thought so.
Wasn't it actually?
She wouldn't allow us to record. But I felt sorry for the translators because she is a professional coach and this is what she does for a living. And I suspect it would have been copyrighted.
Yeah.
But we still got a lot of nuggets.
Yeah.
And she charges $10,000 a day.
Yep.
So look, I think on that one,
Hmm?
all of us made notes where we could, but she was talking too fast, I think on purpose. So maybe we can sort of pool our resources there
Yeah,
and still come out with the nuggets. There
Yes.
was a lot there.
there was a huge
One thing
amount.
that I liked about her was that she did say Neolife doesn't sell a job, it sells a business. So it doesn't share a job, it shares a business.
And also it's the results. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
there was lots of things.
a couple of the things I picked up from her there that I managed to sneak a peek of. Today is the greatest period of entrepreneurial opportunity in history for the health and wellness revolution and for people who add value. And then there was another one. We are witnessing the birth of the entrepreneurial business, and the greatest period of entrepreneurial opportunity in history is now. And then Cesar had one that I quite liked as well that she picked up. If anybody else got comments, please go for it because I'm still looking over here.
What did you pick up? You got anything you can see?
Yeah,
Neolife is not a product peddler, but a problem solver.
yes. And her other quote there was, in the presence of value, price is inconsequential,
That's right, sure.
because
Like
she
you
says,
just said, price is what you pay, value is what you get.
correct.
And we sell results. That came from her as well.
Yes, and that was the big thing is, as she was saying, we're not selling a product. And she was talking about when Andrew introduced her to the business. She said, in 3 months' time, I'm going on the world stage and I need to lose some weight. Can your product do it? And he said, yes. Well, she was blown away by the shakes. I don't know what she looked like 3 months ago, but she certainly looked pretty good on Saturday. She was extremely impressed. And she said, I can't put a price on this because I didn't believe that he could come through with his promise. And he's come through better than what he promised. So the value of what she got was significantly more than what I assume she paid. Okay, any other comments?
Sure.
We need
Just so
to
much.
have a purpose. We
I
need to have a
like this
purpose, a
expression.
passion.
Go, Mandy.
Carry on.
We need to have a purpose, a passion, and making a difference, one at a time, one life at a time. I'm possible.
Not impossible, I'm possible.
Yeah. The other
I
talks
like
were
it.
also very, very good.
Yes.
Um,
Those recordings are available, just by the way.
that's right, yeah.
Oh,
They are
Brown's
all
available.
Sorry,
Is Rico Brown's available?
it hasn't come through yet, but it will come through, I'm
Oh,
sure.
I didn't see it.
That one would have still
Because
required some
Rico-
editing.
Yeah, Rico said, I'm a business owner. Health is how the body is, and wellness is how the body feels. Personal power is your own secret.
yeah. Oh.
Personal power is how I communicate with myself. And then I wrote other things. I can't make sense of what I wrote.
I know John's trying to find and see what makes sense with these two.
Just on that lot there, I looked at the various functions of that whole rally, that whole convention, and it culminated, look, those talks were brilliant, but at the end of the day, Neolife recognized 5 different categories, and they thought it was important to actually list them 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The number 1 in that category. So now I've got me thinking, we should actually target those categories that Neolife are targeting. There's got to be a reason why they're important and give prizes and certificates and medals and trophies to those categories. If you look at these categories, and I'm going to be putting some thought about this in the next couple of days. The first category was team production. So now, if you have a look at that category, what is team production? And it's a combination of you taking steps, of you maintaining your status. There's a lot of things there on team production. In fact, the one before that was personal production. So this is where they were recognizing 10 to number 1 on your personal production. And I think, was that your 3 and 30s or your PB?
It was your person.
No, it was your personal production. Your personal production was how many people you sponsored, hey? Personal. Then it was team production. So Jenny, like you've got your team and Sean's got his team. Everyone's got their team. We've got to, and I'm going to be going through to the Eagle Team office and get the qualifications, what criteria were they looking for. And then the other one was your team sponsoring. And then near the end, they had the best in the category. So now, if you have a look at who they're recognizing, and I know I'm talking world team, but it doesn't have to be. If everyone on the Zoom is a potential team member. So I think you've got to play the rules as if you are team members. And you've got to start thinking like a team member. All of you are team members. You don't want to just stay as you are for the rest of our lives. So as a team member, we've got to go through this category. Now, I'd hate to ask Debbie to work it out at the end of the year, who's qualified on personal sponsoring and who's qualified, but it wouldn't be too bad because it's all in the back office, isn't it? It's all recorded. Neolife does it all for us. So we could see who was the best senior manager we had this year, who was the best manager. You know, we can break it down, not like world team where you got the president's team and the world team, but these personal sponsoring, team sponsoring, or team production are absolutely vital, and your own personal production in your own growth towards reaching the goal. So it needs a lot more work on that, and we've got to formulate a plan, and I'm going to call a directors meeting later on next week maybe, and we're going to thrash this criteria out where we can each have a goal, and we're going to have not a competition, but we're going to have at the end of the year, we're going to find out whose team. So you could be a senior manager. In fact, the one lady next to us, her name was Tessa Dwayne. She won a prize for becoming the number 7 in the world of Neolife West Africa. So, and she started way after us. And they're young.
Our team prediction.
Sorry?
Carry on.
Okay, no, we've won it before, but I'm just saying, let's have a look at these criterias and let's see where, if Jenny Holiday and Jenny Potter and Sean and all our people on our Zoom here, if you're all striving to be the best in your category, you know who will walk across the stage next year for you. Debbie and I will be walking across there for you. And that's going to be my driving goal now, is that we're going to get you the very best that we've got. The Osprey team are going to be recognized next year. We're going to have a think, and we're all going to thrash this out at the directors meeting. there was a lot of teams there had their own shirts on. They identified them. So there was a lot of the red sting like a bee categories. There was the be your very best. I saw 4 different teams there with their own shirts on. We were our team. We were all. Doesn't matter, but we are individuals. We have our own business, but we belong to the team. Now we've got to get that team spirit going, and we've got to have more team functions. We've got to play more Osprey golf. We've got to get together and work as a unit. And I think that's the way to go. That's on my side.
Yeah, this was a comment about teams. Teamwork makes dream work.
Correct.
Correct.
So think about it before the next meeting, what you can add. How can we be a unit, a unified team? What made the others a unified? And there's lots of things. Sean, you mentioned it. They were having more presentations. Now, even the one, Charlie has a presentation every Thursday, and I don't see everyone listening to it. So even though we're having more presentations, people are thinking it's for them. But if we've got a unified goal, each person is pulling towards the good of our Osprey Eagle. So I reckon that we can do this. There's a lot of key functions that your brains are better than mine at this stage. So think about what we can do. And Jenny Holiday had a lot of things about having certificate awards. It's got to be recognition. We've got to recognize more people in our team for what you're doing. You're doing a great job. And Deb and I couldn't have been more prouder of sitting next to you guys there. But I think we've got to have more certificates in our team that you actually came out number top. So you will be looked at your effort, and it's got to be recognized. And we'll have a big Zoom meeting just for recognition. And we'll go through top 10, number 1. And do we do this every quarter, or do we do it every 6 months or once a year? But we're going to have a Zoom. And this is what I want to talk to the directors, because we're going to be unified on this score.
Because it's great to have
agree.
everybody together, and then we all just sort of disappear into our own little worlds again. That's just my feeling. And then life catches up to you. That's what happens to me. But a lot of that's
you're
my
right.
fault.
100%. It's not our fault.
John, you brought out once before a newsletter, and I tried to copy you, but I got lost amongst all the different information. So I think a newsletter is also very, very good with events, with recognition, with dates, with birthdays, with all sorts of things come in there, and us as directors can all put our input, and either you or somebody must do the newsletter together, but we need to help to put the content together, maybe photos or whatever, or somebody's been on a special holiday or whatever. And I think that will bring us together as a better united family. And if we've had, as you said, the most presentations, the best PPV, the best 3 in 30s or whatever, that should all come onto that newsletter so that everybody can see it. Because I think what it does to me when I see those people walking up on the stage, I mean, Mzi in Mark's team, he was below me at one stage. Then he went to boot camp and he just took off. And now he's number 10 as a Sapphire director or something. And he was blown out of the water when he suddenly realized, he said he wasn't expecting number 10, but he brought the biggest team to Bloemfontein. He brought the biggest team to the convention. So he goes all out, showing the poor guy was stressing about finding this guest and that guest and this guest. They were all supposed to be coming, but he couldn't find them. And he lost the first, I suppose, half an hour of convention because he was looking for his guests and the team that he had brought there or organized to have brought there. So he just showed that and he's got his own business. He's got another business. I think he's got 2 other businesses in Tomo and in Umtata, I think. And he
You see,
still
Jenny,
carries on.
Jenny, I hear what you're saying, and I think this idea of the newsletter is 100%. I'm going to do that, regardless, and we're going to have the input. But why I'm wondering, what is missing in that team where he's number 10, and Mark also got a certificate, but Mark's been a Sapphire director for 12 years now. Why is there no upgrowth? I'm not picking on him. I'm the same. But we people in the team, we've got to recognize each individual. And I think a newsletter will bring that out. And I'm going to start that as from the end of this month, we will have a newsletter. It's a brilliant idea.
Thing is, we
Thank you.
had the
I like those
newsletter and we had no feedback.
Yeah,
no-
but I didn't know how
there was no feedback saying how good it was or what we could add to it or what we could take from it. So we thought, well, maybe no one's even looking at it. So we dumped it.
Yeah. So we don't want thanks, but maybe I think if you have a newsletter, let's all contribute. If you've got something in the newsletter, this is Jenny Potter from Stutterham. This is your news in that area. How are you doing? So that people in the country, you're not isolated. And I really admire you for you like out in the wilderness there, but you're not by yourself. You know, we're with you. But we want to hear your challenges, the way you've overcome them, your travel down to Cape Town. You know, you do an incredible job, but no one knows about it. And I think that will bring the team closer in, that we know and we care what you're doing down there. So it really brought you to meet. And I think a newsletter is a brilliant idea. We can start that straight away.
I remember when
I'm just thinking the newsletter, we usually got that at the month end at the ADT rallies. I'm correct?
Yeah.
You
I'll put
handed
them on
that
email. I actually put them on email, hey?
before
Yeah.
email. I think you handed out at ADT at month end.
Well, now we'll obviously send emails.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
can
didn't know
remember.
about it.
Sorry?
That's why I didn't know about it when they were handed out at the Durban ADT.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Email.
And the thing, yeah, you see that's exactly what we're saying. We're growing now. John Sheard, I think he's still in Joburg, so he doesn't feel part of. He's over there somewhere, you know. Whereas with a newsletter, he'll be drawn in.
But even the people that aren't on the Zooms, we can mention on Zooms there, we can send them a newsletter. I'll send it to you and you can bombshell it to all your team. So they know that there is growth, there's action, there's excitement. People are excited about what we're doing and they're taking steps. If you met the people that were at that convention, Jenny Holiday, you had an incredible lady there, and Busi Mosani, wow, I can't believe what Busi had there. And I was blown away by what she's going to be doing. You know, this is news items where we can add it to our general comments. There's lots of things we can do. It's a great idea.
Yes, I think that's one of the best ways because it's always the same people on our Zooms. Tonight we have got a guest. And so that is also good. See who can bring the most guests. And, you know, it might seem a little trivial, but those little things help. And everybody may give a 2-minute talk or do like BNI, a 60-second short, sharp info, whatever. We have a quiz like that, or we have quizzes, or we have something with the teams. Each leg has a competition against the other leg. That might
Brilliant.
also be an idea. But we need to get some Wutom Lilo into this team, like in
Yeah, boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy.
we need to get some fire, and we need to encourage each other. The little stupid quizzes seem stupid, but they're actually good. Little incentives seem trivial, but they're actually huge. Like tonight, Thelma's on, and Thelma is a she works at a salon doing nails, but all she is, I think I'm right, Thelma, she's a civil engineer, and she's working here in South Africa to try and get some money. So
Wow.
little things like that are trivial. She's working in the salon, but she's got huge dreams because she's got a degree behind her. Little trivial things like that. Who else has got a degree but working their butt off? Some night she gets called out at 9, 10 o'clock at night to do somebody's nails because they suddenly woke up to realize that they need to go to Port Elizabeth tomorrow. We need to encourage each other to. Do you know, who of you have ever done Charlie's Goya?
What's that?
Yes.
Wow,
Gosh.
I'm going to do a Goya one night.
Goya. Get
I've
off
got,
your.
no, I'm going to do it one night.
DIY.
I've done it at a couple of my East London ADTs long ago, and it was so effective. I've got monopoly money, and we did such fun Goyas that it really did encourage the team at that stage. I'm going to do one night, and I can stand back and do it over here.
Jenny, put that down. Just
Yeah, do it.
do it. Just go for these things. And if anyone else has got ideas, let's put them into the pot. I tell you what, this is an exciting era. We have moved from the dark ages. I promise you, COVID was dark ages. Now we're in a brilliant light, and we are going to get this thing bouncing and humming like you won't believe. And we are there.
Yeah, I do believe that this company is going to see a revival. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people got tired through
Me
through
included.
COVID. Very much guilty. And
Yeah.
I will blame COVID, but I lost my focus. I lost my vision.
Yeah.
And I fell off the train. And I think a lot of people did that. And one of the things that stood out for me was that what's her name? Gloria Jabé
Yeah.
Yeah,
was there.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it must have been an incredibly painful experience for her. Because
yeah.
she and Pete were always part of it.
Like this.
He wasn't
were-
there.
Yeah.
But
Amazing
Grove.
couple.
she's picked up and she's growing. Same with
That's
Nelly.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do you know that this convention was the best thing we could ever happen to Debbie and I? In church, we got people who backslide. Have you ever heard that saying?
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
don't know, it is so insidious, you don't know that you are backslidden. And I tell you what, when I got there, I wasn't very enthusiastic to go. I thought the expense, this and that. And I got to take my hat off to Debbie. She was a driving force. And I think without Debbie going, I don't think I would have gone on this trip. If I'm being honest, I wanted to go, but things were against us. But I only found myself how far I had dropped down in my positivity when I got to that convention. And nothing else would have brought it out unless I'd gone. And I would have, if I had not have gone, I would have been even worse off than I was before. So I think what we're thinking about is good news. We're going to get these teams firing up and input from everybody. Thanks, Sid. What do you think, Debbie?
Rico said that we had to consider it as being a new year from
Mhm.
the convention.
Yes.
Good. It's a new year, a new day.
New year, a new day. I'm taking all our certificates off our wall and make it blank so that we can start putting new ones up there.
No, we've got a second wall.
I knew that. I knew that would get them.
We go right around the room. That side, this side, even on the
wallpaper.
ceiling. Upside.
Now I need you watch movies for the certificate.
I want another team production
Come on, award.
award because a dove flew into our lounge and knocked ours off
Our
the
trophy.
side cabinet and crashed. It broke. So we
Oops.
need another one there.
Come on, guys. Debbie wants one badly. Okay.
Right.
So, so just
Do it. Woohoo!
What I have
Team.
done as well,
Yeah.
in our goodie bag, in our lucky packet, we got a getting started guide.
Yes.
The
Oh.
new getting started guide is available in the back office, and I think on
Thank you, Sean.
CNL. Please do yourself a favor, because I've done that today. I was starting to work through it today. In the back of that getting started guide is a brilliant, brilliant goal sheet. Print it up and fill it in. I'm busy
Yeah.
doing that at the moment. It will go onto my bedroom cupboard. And that will be my every night.
Sean,
What
is
have
it
I done?
possible to put that? Is it possible to get a picture of that and put it on the chat for the people
Yes.
that weren't there?
Yeah, it's available in the back office. You simply download it. It's a PDF
Okay.
form and you can print it up. But yes, I can put that particular page up. That's not a problem.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay, but that new getting started guide and the new product catalog are
Oh, that's wonderful.
mind blowing. But the getting
Yeah,
started
yeah.
guide, I've already sent that to one of my prospects who, all being well, will actually be signing up in the next week. And I said, this is where you're going. Because when
Yeah,
I looked
I'm
at
going
that-
to take
that
mine
getting
and give
started
it to
guide-
my new distributor.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's available in electronic format. Print it up. There's about 3 pages in there that you can print up and complete. And even though it's a new getting started, we are, as we've just discussed.
We're
we-
brand new.
This is now the cracker. Let's do it. And we are getting started. So let's follow the getting started guide and go and show our new distributors what to do. Don't tell.
We'll lead from
I'm
the
very
front.
good at
Yeah.
telling. I'm not very good at showing. I'm going to be changing that.
Good.
100%. Well done.
Right, time is up. So I'm going to cut
Wonderful.
recording